Hey everyone, in this video we are discussing the new moon in Gemini, the new you 2.0, Saturn ending a 29-year cycle, and manifestation is changing. Don't forget to stick around to the end because of course we'll provide a practice or two. So let's get right to it because there's always lots to cover.
3, 2, 1.
Hey everyone. Okay, so let's talk about the new moon that is coming in on the 26th into Gemini. There's a lot happening planetary-wise right now. So first, let's talk about new moon. New moon, we know that is new energy, new beginnings coming in. The last couple of weeks, we've been discussing what are we letting go of? What are we leaving behind, right? Now we're starting, what are we going to begin? We've shed everything we're going to be shedding, right? There still might be a bit of shedding left too, don't get me wrong. However, we're now stepping into that new. What are you manifesting? What's the new you 2.0 version going to be? And how are you going to support that? Now, because Saturn has ended a 29-year cycle, this is making this an even newer new moon. This is opening up a newer capacity within the self. So with new moon being new chapters and new beginnings, add the flavor of Gemini into it. And that's a lighter energy, a lightheartedness, flexibility, and ease of change. Now, Gemini is about the mind and understanding. And Saturn is what is being asked to change, the karmic side of it. So the shift is happening. Now Jupiter is also squaring the nodes of fate. We've got the lighter, airy Gemini energy coming in. But then we've also got, on the other hand, the deeper, more connected to the unconscious Pluto energy coming in as well. Now Pluto is about soul evolution, which is why practice number 1 is going to be super potent and super important to do. So for this moon, practice number 1 is going to be journaling. Yep, our favorite thing, journal. Journal with the purpose of asking yourself a few questions. Pluto's about the transformation of your life, and looking up where your Pluto placement might give you some hints as to what area you might be working in right now. But even if you don't have Pluto placements, it doesn't mean that this isn't important for you. So ask yourself first, what has ended? What has died that I need to let go of? Old systems, old beliefs. What are you still carrying around? What baggage that you need to drop? And then ask yourself, or even your peeps, to help guide you in this. What are the changes I'm being asked to make here? Again, don't forget to stick around to the end because there's an interesting practice I learned and I will share it with you at the end of the video. Right now, we're being given the option to shift to a new paradigm, to a new reality, so to speak. But it's not necessarily in the way you think. We're being called to choose to get out of experiencing things in the stressful and painful way in a more balanced and harmonious way. Now, because Pluto's been mixed in here and is trying the new moon, it's also bringing in the deeper mental realms. So have those soulful conversations and really reflect on things. So the new approach is with alignment, coming from a place of joy and peace, from the more harmonious and balanced area, as opposed to the old way, which is that anxious sort of out of harmony, out of balance way that we've been very used to going about things, that worry, that fear, that lack mentality. We're getting out of that now. So you're being asked, do you want the new human or the old human? This is the you 2.0 that we were talking about. What are you going to choose? Hit me up in the comments. What comes to you when doing some reflective journaling, or even practice number 2, we'll get into it, of course, meditation. Meditation is super powerful right now. And I would say, yeah, so, solar plexus. I was going to say heart chakra frequency music, but solar plexus is going off right now too. So we'll add that one in as well. If you can get some solar plexus energy going, that'll be really powerful right now. So now understand that this new you 2.0 is going to be doing the same things that the old you was doing. However, it's from a different state of being. And this is the other thing that I was talking about, is manifestation is changing too. It's a different manifestation and creation because it's coming from a different place within you, tying back into the all new, that new energy, the new beginnings. Let's talk about Aries for a minute because there's a lot of Aries energy going on right now. So first of all, Ceres, a dwarf planet, moved into Aries on the 16th. Neptune did so a few weeks ago, and Saturn is doing so on the 24th or 25th. Now that means they're going to be conjunct soon in Aries, which is the first sign. This is why it's making this newer than new energy, and why manifesting right now is going to be super potent. pushing that new energy through and stepping forward right in that without hesitation. Now, Saturn being Father Time and Lord of Karma is starting a whole new 29-year cycle, and that's pretty big. Now, practice number 2 being meditation. Bring your consciousness to what is outdated and what is outgrown. What has changed? What has changed around you, but what has changed within you? Now, again, Jupiter is the great amplifier, which is also making this super potent. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about a few more placements quickly, but I don't want to get too deep into it because it gets to be a lot sometimes. So let's just keep it light. So Jupiter is square the nodes of fate. So your north node is being lit up right now, which is where we're heading to. What is your purpose? Now, it's also conjunct Mary Magdalene and opposing Shiva, which by the way is an asteroid. So Mary Magdalene is that feminine embodiment, and Shiva is the heart and soul. Now Mercury, which is the mind, rules Gemini and is conjunct Hygeia and Sedna. So Hygeia is about awakening and Sedna is about transformation. So this is soul level stuff. And then on the day of the new moon, Chiron becomes conjunct the goddess Eris, which brings in the destruction we need to change. Now this is the start of a longer term healing journey for you. And it does take time to make a shift like this, so be patient with yourself. But this is the time for birthing new myths. What are you going to believe going forward? What ideas, what structures are you taking forward into the new? Or are you going to keep the other ones that you already have? The choice is yours. But the structures that we've understood in life up until now are collapsing and deconstructing. So lean into the new embodiments, the new structures. Now, because Saturn's about the structures we've understood life up until now through, to help clear away with the old, we should also ask ourselves what needs went unmet as children, as adolescents, even as adults. What needs were not able to be met by your parents or by yourself even, or teachers or any other authority figures that you've encountered in your life. Now, because we've got Ceres and Aries as well, that's asking how we parent ourselves and how we show up as parents to our children for those that are parents or act in that type of role. Because it's in Aries, Aries holds space. We can meet those unmet needs ourselves right now, or we can acknowledge them and we either witness them with love or we fulfill them. And we can also look at the unmet needs of those around us, the parents that weren't able to meet certain needs of ours, or anybody around you. You can now start to see some of the stuff that they went through and why they showed up the way they showed up. So like any birth, probably going to be a bit messy, maybe a little painful. And when we think about childbirth, there's a new life that's being brought into the world, but there's also a new relationship being formed. And in addition to that, what people don't always acknowledge is there's an old one that is being let go of. That's important because it is a loss, and we need to give that space to that as well. So again, bring your consciousness to what is outdated and what is outgrown, what has changed, but hold respect and space for that was, because it got you to where you are now. Okay, so the practice that I have for you. Okay, so the practice I have for you is sort of a reflection practice and a meditation practice to do with your guides. So I want you to sit comfortably, get into that comfortable space, and then I want you to meditate on the questions. Then I want you to say, first, I am right on time. And then ask your guides and your higher self, what am I right on time for? What are the changes I am right on time for? And lean into that ease of change from Gemini. All right, everyone. Happy new moon. Hope it helped. And as always, if you've liked the content you've seen today, please like and subscribe and leave me a comment. Let me know what hit for you, what didn't hit for you, what are your practices.